Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
Happy hump day, bitches.
What it do? It's hump day. We're 2 episodes away from ending our season.
I know, it's so weird.
I know. I don't even know I don't even know how to feel.
You guys, our season is ending. I can't believe it. It went by so fast.
And that means you won't have access to us unless you're on Patreon. This season is ending in one more episode, and unless you're a Patreon member, that's it.
That's it. We're going to be dropping episodes exclusively on Patreon during our off season. It's $10 a month. You spend $10 on bullshit. You spent $10 5 minutes ago on some bullshit. And I just want to encourage you to just support us. Come tap in with us. Come join our close friends. Come join our Discord so we can talk to you one-on-one.
Find your friends on Discord. There's like homegirls meeting up in cities. There's exclusive drops on merch and the first to know about events.
One day, that titty's not going to come out. Just one day, it's just not going to come out in an episode.
Maybe when I get them done. But yeah, don't make excuses. Support 2 moms. If you've gotten 300 plus episodes free, it's time to come over there, get the bonus episode. We have tons. When I say tons of bonus episodes, tons of extra shit. Interviews with our kids, crying in the camera over boys, interviews with exes.
And also just like extended interviews with guests there that you didn't see. There's a lot. And we're doing monthly meetups, so you actually get to hang out with us, smoke a blunt, drink a glass of wine.
The Zoom happy hours are really fun, actually.
Yeah, we do full moon Zooms. We do tantric Zooms. We do never have I ever Zooms. It's really playful. And I'm really excited to go off season and connect with you guys in a more peaceful environment that isn't the ghetto-ass Instagram.
Just more intimate, honestly. We get to connect with our people more intimately, and it's nice.
So make sure you go to patreon.com/goodmomsbadchoices, and we'll see you over there. Anyway, how are you?
I'm great.
How are you adjusting back from the jungle Costa Rica life?
Slowly but surely. Yeah. Today's the day I've felt more American.
So you guys, we just got back from our 3-week trip to Costa Rica. We led 2 retreats at the Good Vibe Retreat.
Not just any 2 retreats.
It's our 9th and 10th retreat.
We just completed our 9th and 10th retreat. And if you know us, if you've been listening, you know it's a big fucking deal because we like accidentally started this business 2 years ago. And to just come up on our 9th and 10th retreat is just honestly unreal and the most beautiful shit I've ever witnessed, the most beautiful work I've ever done. So I feel super grateful to come back. I'm also super eager to get the fuck out of the United States permanently and eat real food and live on the beach. But overall, I'm adjusting back, and I hope to return to the jungle much sooner than later.
Yeah, me too. It was hard for me to leave this time. I mean, besides that my child wasn't there and I had to go back to get her. But I was over there planting seeds, bitch, for us, okay? I was out there trying to find a nanny for us. I'm over there trying to, like, really figure out what it is to live in Costa Rica full time.
Yeah, I'm feeling like my new job is, like scouter. Like where I'm going to live next because, after I went to Costa Rica, I went to Panama. And it was my first time being there. I went to Bocas, and it was beautiful. Boca de Toro. It's like an archipelago of islands. And then we went to Panama City, and I texted Erica immediately like, bitch, I think we need to live in Panama City. I'm really feeling like we need multiple like international locations to get all the things we need, because I know we say this a lot, but we're jungle bitches, but we're also like city bitches. I'm like a city jungle girl. I'm like half city girls, half jungle bitch. And I feel like Panama City is really chic. It was super chic and super beautiful. It was giving like old town Cuba, but like upscale. They had like beautiful restaurants. Shout out to Erin, our wonderful, beautiful tour guide who took us all around, introduced us to all her friends, took us to all the best restaurants, on all the best adventures. We were like, it was just me, Erin, and Orlando and a trouble for a full week. And I highly recommend Erin as a tour guide.
I'm like, I don't think Erin wants to be a fucking tour guide.
She's
bitch.
our tour guide, okay? I'm putting her on TripAdvisor.
She's busy creating her fucking skincare empire.
So many empires over there, but it wasn't a real fucking adventure. We did some real adventuring, and it was great. I've never crossed a border by foot. So we crossed a border by foot, and it was very, like, a little janky. We had to, like, take our luggage across. A man took it across in a wheelbarrow for $5.
Oh, my God. Actually, yeah, that's what I had to do. Remember when I had to escape the country from Costa Rica, from Nicaragua to Costa Rica? That's what I had to do. I had to walk across the border.
Was it a bridge?
Well, they're two different borders, so no.
Oh, okay. You didn't go on that
I was going
side.
from Nicaragua to Costa Rica to escape the Nicaraguan war that was happening.
I remember that. God, what episode was that I told you to get a free trip with a guy, and then it ended up
and then he dry humped me. Until
he came his pants?
He came in his pants, he dry humped me, and then I had to escape Nicaragua because there was an impending war that he knew about but still had me fly out that I didn't know about.
And you're only there for like a weekend, and like
I was there for 1.5 days, bitch. I was in Nicaragua for maybe 22 hours before I had to escape.
That was like in the earliest parts of our friendship. It was like probably an earlier episode. And I was like, you should go. Fuck it. You've never been in Nicaragua.
I had never been flued out before. So
and then
I want to be flued out.
Within like 24 hours, she texted me like, I think I might die. And I was like, oh no, I told her to go. She's like, there's a man with a machine gun. We're going through some back jungles. There's a war breaking out. I was like, oh God, I gave her the wrong ghetto advice telling her to be a hoe. And now she's going to die in a Nicaraguan war she has no business in.
Thank God I didn't have to be a hoe. Well, I guess, I don't know.
You got dry humped. That's pretty...
Is that hoish? I feel like that's pretty safe.
I feel like that's worse.
No, it's not.
Every time I think of you telling me...
No bodily fluids were exchanged.
I literally, every time I think about it, I think about Justin Timberlake in that movie he did called The Bad Teacher with
Cameron
God, where
Diaz. He humps Cameron Diaz.
Until he comes in his jeans.
That's kind of what it was like.
Yeah. I am not ill.
Has anyone ever been dry humped before and a man come in their pants? Because that was like new. That was like a new discovery.
That's over 15 years old? I don't think so. Maybe like really religious Christians or something.
You know, I felt like, I dodged, putting a nigga on my list. He doesn't count.
You know what? This is a good strategy. If you are trying to like live your best whole life but not get any extra bodies, just have them dry hump you through their pants. Apparently, they can still come. And don't let them tell you otherwise.
You know, that's how you know you got that good pussy.
You got that good leg.
You know you got that good pussy.
You got that good thigh.
I got good tight thigh. If a nigga can fucking nut in his pants off a dry hump,
I can come off a dry hump easy.
I know that you can. I know that's your thing. Humping pillows and stuffed animals and shit.
I don't know about stuffed animals, not since I'm a child, but
I can't come off a dry hump at all.
Do you need to be penetrated?
No, but I need to be like, there needs to be some sort of, at least a suck of something, like some sort of suction happening.
Oh, a suction. Well,
suction and rub, suck and rub.
We just went straight off the bat with TMI. No one asked any of this information. Erica once got dry humped to ejaculation, and I love dry humping.
That was in Costa Rica, actually. We didn't dry hump in Nicaragua. The dry humping happened in Tamarindo.
Well, I assume there was too much action happening when you're on your escape plan to get dry humped in Nicaragua, but he said one way or other, bitch, you're paying for this trip.
Yeah, he did.
Lay down.
He made sure that happened. I had to do a lot of, oh God, that was actually traumatic.
I'm triggered.
See, what's wrong with women? I didn't even want to do it, but I felt bad. So I was like, oh God, I guess he has a nice mouth. You know how I am about mouths. He had a nice mouth. So I just focused on that and just was like, just make out. He's a bigger guy too. So I'm not really into big guys like that. No offense, but I really like my guys slim and long for the most part.
You know what?
Long balls and...
Ew. Who likes long balls?
I'm just kidding.
You know...
I just talk about my baby daddy and his long balls.
One thing about me, I don't discriminate. I've dated all types of guys. Big bones, just straight up chubby.
I discriminate.
Thick. Sometimes fat guys have big dicks.
I mean, yeah.
I don't really like hips. You know, I don't
think fat means you don't have big anything.
No.
Have a big dick.
I'm just saying I have theories. I have dick theories. And so oh my God.
What are your dick theories? Let's break down the dick theories. Dick theories by Jamila.
There are a few, and actually I got some new ones on the retreat.
Did you?
Yes. Who the fuck was it giving me dick theories on the retreat? Like, as soon as she sat down... She was like, yeah, you look at their extremities, ears, fingers, and feet.
Ears,
noses. I think she said ears, noses, and hands. All extremities matter. And if they have small little ears, that means they probably don't have large penises. You got to look at the extremities.
Wow.
Shout out to the retreat, because you know what? You get a lot of information there.
That's not true, though. I'm thinking of someone specifically that has small ears and a big dick. So
Who's? I think I know who you're talking about.
Who?
I don't know. I just feel like I saw a nigga that I know you've been with who was maybe those are little ears, or maybe it's just a little guy. Anyway, some little guys have like large penises, and then some little guys just have little penises, and then some big guys have little penises, and it just throws off the whole game. I'm just letting you know. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no strategy. You just have to do the dick test, where you're just like,
yeah, but I've done that and I've been wrong, because the dick test also doesn't take into consideration girth.
Wait, somebody also, the same girl told me that.
Sometimes you be feeling it, you be like, "Ooh, bitch, I won," and then they pull it out and it's a fucking torpedo.
She told me that you got to be careful during the dick test, because sometimes they have big balls.
Oh, that's true. Wait, I was there for that conversation. I remember. Who was it?
You must have forgot about the ears and the hands.
Because the balls like lift the dick up.
Yeah, they can be all like stuffed together.
Yeah, it just like hangs on there.
What do you guys do at the retreat? Well, we deep dive into how to figure out who has a big penis.
We do shadow work and we do dick theories.
We do dick theory. So first workshop is dick theories. Oh my God, I love retreating. It is literally the highlight of my life. I don't know how we got on dick theories, but obviously they're all a gamble. All dick theories are a fucking gamble. But yeah, we had a pretty like most always jam-packed 3 weeks, and I don't know, there's a lot of surprises. There's always like such characters at the retreat. I did a walk over the border and take like 2 buses and a boat to some islands. Saw some starfish, met a pirate. I met a pirate who was also a cancer dragon. You know, I hit it off with people who have specificities with. I think I just made that word up, specificities.
Extremities and
specificities. And we went on his boat, and he was just like, he was showing us a framed photo of his dog named Patron. He was obviously like a pirate. He was an alcoholic, and he was like, "Look at Patron!" And then he like poured Patron on top of it, and he like licked it, and then he passed it to me.
Picture frame? Yeah. He poured Patron on the picture frame?
He poured the Patron on the picture of his dog that died named Patron, and this is like moments after we discovered we're both cancer dragons, and he was like, "Yeah!" And then I was like, then he poured it on, and I was like,
"You licked it?" I wonder how many people have licked that picture, bitch.
I figured the Patron would like wash off the germs.
All I know is that Orlando had us on a group chat, and he was like texting random quotes, and because I wasn't with you guys, so I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Like he said, I don't know what he wrote. I gotta look, but he wrote some shit, and I was like, "They're fucked up."
I mean,
I was like, they're drunk for sure right now.
We're doing things. We're definitely drunk amongst other things, and stretching through the streets of Boca de Toro, which are fucked up right now. And Aaron's like, "My friend said we have to be visionaries. In 2 years, the streets will be together." I'm like, this is really fucked up. But, you know, I like a ghetto good time. Like, I like adventure. So then we got to do like some ATVing on the back jungles, where like usually ATVing, they're like guided tours. No, these motherfuckers just gave us the key, and we went like on some private beach, and we like go over a bridge. I felt like I was in a video game. I'm like, "Are we supposed to go over this bridge?" And we were like, "I think so." And then we made it, and I was topless in the back. Like I you know, I'm a passenger princess, so I was just in the back of the ATV, like howling and shit with my titties out. And we just butt naked fucking skinny dipped on the ocean alone and ate really good food. I'm a fucking foodie, so that was great. But, you know, it was nice to have like an after trip after the retreat, because the retreats, they were like wellness and nice, and then I got to like kind of act crazy, and, you know, I like balance. Guess who's coming to a city near you?
Us, bitches. That's right. We're going back on tour with Confessions of a Good Mom.
Are you ready to confess your dirty little secret?
Are you ready to have the ultimate girls' night or date night? We're hitting Philly, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Houston, and Dallas. And we cannot wait to turn up with you guys.
If you haven't been to a Good Mom show, it is epic. It is fun. It is debauchery. It is a night of freedom, pleasure, and celebration and connection, and do all the things you wouldn't do Monday through Friday.
We are giving you the ultimate girls' night, the ultimate date night. So bring your lover, don't be shy, and come hang out with us in your city. Click the link in this episode description and do not miss out. We're going to be in Philly on March 13th, Washington, D.C. on the 14th, New York on the 16th, Atlanta on March 21st, Charlotte March 22nd, Houston April 18th, and finishing our tour in Dallas on April 19th.
This ain't like any other live podcast show you've been to, so get your hoochie gear, get your ladies, or come alone and come shake some ass.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. So let's talk about therapy, because a lot of y'all have been talking about getting in therapy and y'all are scared. I want to make it so simple, so easy for you. With BetterHelp, all you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you get matched to a licensed therapist. And at any point, you can switch your therapist if you're not feeling him or her and find the right one for you. It's time to stop putting off your mental health and really tap into what it is that makes you happy, what it is that's going to make you a better person. Therapy has been so transformational for me in my life, and BetterHelp is making therapy so easy.
It's convenient, it's easy. If you need to switch it up, you can, and you can specify what you're looking for, just like a dating app, but for your mental health. And right now, BetterHelp is giving our audience 10% off their first month. You can't beat better mental health at a discounted rate. What are you waiting for? Go to betterhelp.com/choices. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/choices, and get 10% off your first month. Don't say that we didn't help you invest in your mental health. You're welcome.
Yeah, we're two different bitches, because there's no motherfucking way I could have went on an adventure after that. I was thinking about you. I was like, I love my friend. I love this for her, because ain't no way. She was like, I was like, how is it? She's like, adventure after adventure. I was like, stressed me out even thinking about it.
It was a lot of adventures. Like, got on a bus, went to a window, paid a guy, got on another bus, got on a boat. It was just a bunch of, it was a lot. But I enjoyed every second. You know, we adventured through some back jungles, found some deserted beaches. The water's really beautiful. I like to explore new places, so that was really. We went to the reggae club. It was fun.
Is the ocean better there, or is it like?
It's different.
Is it more blue, green, or is it?
It was definitely super blue and super clear. It was kind of like overcast the days we were there, but the days that it wasn't, it was super clear and blue. And there's just so many beaches. And like even the jungles look a little bit different. So it's interesting to see like a neighboring country that looks like it's very close but still slightly different.
Nice.
And Panama City, which we're moving to, because I'm already putting dibs on that.
Oh, okay.
Also, it's like I also discovered I don't want to tell everybody the business, so don't tell. It's one of the cheaper places to get permanent residency.
Is it permanent or residential citizenship? That's what you text me. Residential citizenship.
Okay, well, maybe that's what it is.
What the fuck does that even mean? Like, you have to live there? As long as you own a house there,
I don't know what the stipulations are.
rent?
Yeah, I don't know what the stipulations are, but I know if you pay, like, you can get you can pay the fee, which I think is like $3,000, $3,500, and then you can later apply for citizenship and get your passport.
Nice.
The point is, in 2025, Erica and I have already decided we're out of this bitch, right? Yeah. Because we're in 2024 right now. Okay, so we only have about 10 more months to figure out the plan. I guess we can move at any point in 2025.
I mean, I was thinking summertime.
Because Trump is coming back into office. I'm not really.
Why are you so scared of Trump?
I just don't like.
It's nothing. But I mean, it's all bad. It's what do you think Joe Biden's doing over here?
Nothing. He's dying in office actively. So I don't know. I feel like something's happening. I've been feeling very zombie apocalyptic, and I'm just ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm going to spend the last days of living on the earth, I'd rather live in the jungle happily, not stressed about bullshit government of the United States.
That's true. I mean, it's when I was out there.
Are they going to blacklist our podcast because I talk so much shit about the government?
I was out there. I was just talking to a lot of the locals and some of the expats, but mostly the locals, and they're just so like they pride themselves on simplicity. Like simplicity is like the key, and they're totally fine with that and good with that. Like as long as they got their fruits, their veggies, they got a house over a roof over their head. like the jungle is the aesthetic. The jungle is the luxury experience. And it is like being able to just pull over to the side of the road and just hop in the ocean.
Get a coconut.
Because I feel like even in LA, like trying to get to the beach is a whole fucking thing. Sometimes you got to pay to like park and you got to walk so far into the fucking sand to get to the beach. Like there, it's like, boom, get in the water. Bless yourself.
We've definitely overcomplicated life.
Yeah.
It's very, United States has overcomplicated everything. And yeah, when I'm there, my like nervous system feels regulated. And I just know it to be true just when we bring women and like by day 2, they're like, whoa. And I'm like, I know, bitch. I know. It's like something about the jungle that just sits that ass the fuck down. It resets you. It like lets you just like relax.
There's so much femininity around. So I think it's for both men and women, but I just see women really be able to kind of surrender there, really just like lay down their guards, their masks, and rest, like you said. Whether you live there or you're retreating, like everyone is in deep rest mode. I mean, I've never been to a place where people are like, I've started my moon. I cannot work today. Moon meaning my period. I started my moon. Unfortunately, I am not working. And I'm like, yeah, bitch.
I'm actually I thought I was going to go, but I'm not really feeling up.
Spirit didn't move me.
Spirit is telling me to stay home, so I'm just going to honor that. It's like you're really on some honoring yourself shit in the jungle. There's no like pushing past the comfort. There's none of that. There's no people pleasing, bitch. And when you get to the jungle, you pleasing yourself. Right. It's something about the jungle that makes you do it. And I'm trying to get in on it.
Well, while you were having adventures, I was fucking facing like the deep darkness of my soul. After the retreat ended, I chilled for a few days, and then I got into some spiritual work with Sylvia. Shout out to Sylvia Ancestral. She's
actually. Want to smoke a backwood? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes,
I'm gonna roll.
This is the perfect time to light a backwood. And she's been a guest on our show, and she's an astrologer amongst other things. And so after the retreat ended, I had already started like womb work with her at the beginning of this year. And so when I was out there, I was like, I want to work with you one-on-one in person. And so the last 3 days of the trip, I was locked in my hotel room, like basically in a meditative trance for 3 days, accessing different realms and talking to my fucking grandmother. And that shit was crazy. Like, obviously I'm a believer of like other entities being able to, I guess, quantum travel in ways. Mm-hmm. But I've never, I know that it's possible. I guess I never envisioned myself being able to do it. And like thinking that I would need plant medicine in order to kind of be able to have these type of experiences. But yeah, I had some pretty profound experiences with Sylvia, and I'll probably talk about it at more an extent on Patreon, just because it's actually very deeply personal, and it has to do with my dad, and it has to do with my grandmother, and just like some fucking witchy ass shit that happened in that hotel room while I was talking to my dad about my grandmother. Like shit was like, her spirit was moving in the room, bitch. Like,
I know. I think there's definitely going to have to be a Patreon exclusive recap of the retreat, because there were a lot of things that happened that are probably exclusively for Patreon.
Yeah.
Can you pass me your water? Maybe not that one.
Are you going to soak the blunt in my drinking water?
I gave you a bottle too. Just take a couple sips. You want to smoke or you want to be quenched?
I'm not smoking.
You are.
Is this ASMR?
You guys, we're dropping some ASMR. That is annoying. Orlando's getting so mad.
It's fucking ASMR, Orlando. Relax.
His headphones are on. It's annoying me, and the headphones are not even on. You're going to make people fall off. I did like them, but then Erica started sipping aggressively into the microphone. But no, we did. Yeah. I even when you told me your ancestral experiences, I was super intrigued. And also like being able to like step into different realms, like you said, I knew it was possible, but like hearing your experience really, you know what it made me think of? It's just like, who else in anyone's family is having the opportunity to like not rewrite wrongs, but kind of like rewrite contracts. And even like when I did that, you didn't do yours yet because you missed your fucking appointment. The family constellation, I just thought of it in some ways it's similar, but not as deep as the work you did. And then I was like, damn, next time do I need to skip out? I'm going on adventures and go deep into my womb, because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Like, no one in my family is thinking about doing ancestral work with their womb and like healing actual things that happen in their ancestry. But like, that's kind of, I feel like the reason our paths have led us here, and like while we've gotten like these gifts and like gotten just this version of our life, so that we can like have opportunities like meeting Sylvia and just knowing it's possible to go do work like that, to maybe change the trajectory of karmic things for our kids and for our ancestors. Is that what you feel like you were doing over there?
Yeah. I mean, but I didn't know that that's what we were going to do. Like, I kind of, like, everyone kept asking me, like, what is the work you're going to do? And I was like, I don't know.
I'm unsure. We're figuring it out.
I was just letting her guide. Like, I just said I wanted to do some work with you. I want to spend more time with you and dive deeper into this womb work that we've been doing. And she said, okay. And then it just kind of unfolded intuitively. And yeah, I was not expecting my grandmother to show up. I was not expecting her. I wasn't expecting her energy to be what it was. I wasn't expecting to get messages from her that only her and my father would know, and being able to share that with him, and him being like, that's true. So that's how I know this shit is real. Like, for those listening, and then like, you know, you hear these type of stories and it sounds like all woo woo and shit, but like there's real shit happening in these realms, in these spaces. And I think there's a level of preparation that you have to have in order to be able to travel to these realms. Like, I think that I've done a lot of work, and so my field is open to be able to do something like that. Like, I had someone ask me for Sylvia's number. I was like, I want to do that. And I was like, and now I get it. Like, I get why some of my friends, and even like one of my really good friends who's way down deep into this, you know, spiritual path, like, she's very protective about who she shares her people with, because it's not for everyone. It is for everyone, but those people that are ready to really do the work to prepare for an experience like this. You know, and so, yeah, someone asked me in Costa Rica, it's a guy, and he was like, give me Sylvia's number. And I was like, I don't know if you're ready for this. I think you need to like do some stuff first. And I'm going to talk to her about it, but there's a level of protection that I have for the people that I work with. And obviously I'm sharing Sylvia right here, right now for all of you, but, she has her own discernment as well. She had no problem saying, no, thank you.
I feel like it's so interesting too, like, as we've unfolded this good mom saga and like come to, you know, different realizations and self-awarenesses of healing, and even like the women who have come with us, like our community, the tribe, like the women who show up at the retreat, it's like there is an agreement that you make with yourself, and when you make that agreement with yourself, the universe corresponds, right? So like, I think everyone lives, like Erica and I met, we had an agreement that we weren't fully aware of, but that we were like going to just like tap into this authentic space and like speak honestly. And then in that uncovering, you know, these journeys, and like this work has come to us, and I've seen even the women who come on retreat like blossom and like unravel in these ways. Is because I think a lot of times when you sign up to go into the jungle with two women you don't know and invest in yourself, there's a level of openness that you are coming with. And so people are ready to change. People are ready to do things differently. Sometimes people don't know exactly what is off or wrong, but they know they're missing something. And I just feel like even for us, the day of our last retreat, we met like this tantric man at yoga, and he was like, we were doing a meditation, and he's like, are you guys doing tantra? And we're like, yeah. But like, what would be the chances of meeting a black man in yoga in Costa Rica who like is tapped into tantra, you know? And, you know, it just, we spent like a bunch of time with him and like exchanging tantric medicines and lineages, and it was super powerful. And I was just like telling Erica, like, what the fuck would be the chances of us, two of us who are like into tantra, studying this lineage, meeting someone else black who's studying the same thing? And it's just like abundantly clear that once you start like making agreements with yourself and opening yourself up to certain work and to like healing, it comes in all forms.
It does.
And you have to trust it, you know? And it's like in any other chance, we're like, we meet a random man at yoga and be like, whatever, man. But it's like,
not whatever, man.
Whatever, man, get out of here. But we were welcoming to it because I think we both recognized that it was kind of a gift from the divine. And so it was just like we had this opportunity to explore in our tantra with like this divine masculine, and just like you had this opportunity to explore in this work with Sylvia, it's because you've done all this work up to this point and you've made agreements with yourself and the universe, and it's like, oh, she's ready to go into these realms. And so there is like an unlocking that happens as soon as you like just make the agreement and you continue to do the work. And sometimes we don't see the work because it's just like inklings, it's little, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh, I've done a lot and I've come really far, and now I'm accessing my fucking lineage directly, grandma to me, you know? And like that is powerful work. But like it's really all in the outward seeking of what you want and asking for it out loud. You know, I was in the hair salon yesterday and talking about my trip to my hairdresser, and there was a girl in the, you know, getting her nails done, and she was just like, I'm so interested in what you're talking about. And like, I literally just asked God this morning, I prayed and asked for my tribe, and I asked for, you know, to meet people who are on the same thing, and then I met you here. And I was like, girl, because that's the power of fucking asking. When you ask God, even if you don't know exactly what you're asking for, you'll start to he'll start or she'll start to reveal the things that you need. And it's like up to you if you're going to be aware enough to be like, oh, this is the path, and not to be afraid of it, and to just like keep walking in that direction, and, you know, doing womb work, and, you know, inviting the man from yoga, and like in participating in certain type of just different things. And like even in tantra, the lineage that we study is like a combination of different lineages. You know, that's one thing about tantra, is like no one's dissing each other's thing. It's more like a collective, like I'm going to take that, I'm going to take this, and then it like comes into this lineage that is what we learn now. But when we met him in the jungle, and even when we met Sylvia in the jungle with like her, she has so many offerings, but, you know, starting with the natal chart reading, it's just like you get to mix medicines when you are open to meeting other medicine people in the jungle or wherever you meet them. And like that's what the connection and the community is all about, is because we get to gain so much information and take it back to our kids and take it back to each other, and like grow in our spiritual pharmacy.
It's true. And I've realized how, you know, they always say, oh, when you choose yourself, like things start to show up. And I was reflecting on where I was at last year, and like the regression, is that the word? That I had made in my process, in my healing, and like actively choosing to go against myself in so many ways. But it was necessary. Even that lesson was really necessary. But I was thinking, and I was told you this, like during the retreat, I was like, if I had continued down that path, like none of these things would have been available to me. Like I was really considering going against myself just for, I can't even say, it wasn't even safety. It was just like a feeling.
Companionship.
It was a feeling of like wanting to be loved, and just being tired of looking and searching. It was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And that was really it. It was like, I don't want to tell someone my life story again. I don't feel like doing all of that. And it's interesting now, because even in dating now, like, and the people that I've attracted, I haven't had to do a lot of that either. I haven't even had to do a lot of that, explaining who I am. It's just like, it unveils itself in such a different way that doesn't feel cumbersome. It doesn't feel daunting. It doesn't feel annoying. It feels exciting. And ever since I've departed from that situation and just letting go of a lot of things, fear, and that was something that came up a lot in the work with Sylvia was that there is still a lot of fear. There's still a lot of fear attached to me, but a lot of it is not even my own. And having that understanding, and I never even thought about that. I thought like, I've always felt like all the things that I feel, whether it's anxiousness, fear, judgment, insecurity, like those are all the makings of just me. This is who I am. But we don't ever really consider that some of the things or the habits that we even have are not our own. And there's work that has to be done to get those things off of you. And so even since that experience with Sylvia, I feel less fearful about just even like choices, and I feel just more at peace and at ease, and I feel even like I've starting to witness the healing in my family. And I was thinking, I talked about this earlier in the year about like this, me realizing that me and my dad still had work to do and feeling like I forgive him, so like we're good, and then realizing, oh no, there's still more work to do. And this work that I did with Sylvia, I feel like was even more impactful than me telling my dad, hey, I really want us to go on a trip and spend more time together and get to know each other more. Like being able to go back to like one of the roots that are connected to him as a young boy, his relationship with his mother has already become so much more healing in our relationship. We're already talking more than we did before. And it's just based on, I feel like, being able to tap into something outside of just what our physical bodies are doing, which is like communicating with one another. It's like other realmly, for lack of a better word, that has kind of renegotiated my contract with him, and like how he communicates with me. And like, so even since then, like 2 days ago, I told him that like I really wanted to connect with my roots in Texas. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that you're got a cowboy hat on, and actually my dad bought me this hat on our trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when me and my dad went on this father-daughter trip, we went to Solvang, and we went into this hat store, and I was like, I want this hat. He's like, I'll get it for you. And so I'm wearing this in honor of him, but also like just like in honor of Beyonce as well.
Not in honor of my daddy and Beyonce.
Daddy and Beyonce, they both from Texas. Shout out to Texas, Sealy, Texas. But I feel more connected to him now, and I feel like he feels more connected to me. And I was telling him that I really wanted to establish a better relationship with my family, because I feel, and that was something that came up again, like feeling like I have no roots. Like my mom's side of the family, we're kind of disjointed. We have this like little bubble of like our immediate family that we're close to, and then everyone else is very dispersed. There's like resentment, it's just like we don't fuck with y'all. And then there on my dad's side of the family, there's just a disconnect because me and my dad's relationship has not been like, I'm always just kind of trying to focus on him and me, and not realizing like sometimes you gotta like go around the person that you're trying to heal with and heal those other relationships so that you guys can come back together. And that's what I've realized is like me doing that work with Sylvia, and then also now like developing relationships with my cousins in Texas that I haven't spoken to since I was a little girl, is making my dad and our relationship even more richer, and like making us like, oh, you talked to Aunt Patsy, what'd she say? Or like, oh my, and then him sharing more stories with me, because I don't know what to ask. There's certain things I don't even know what to ask, So
well, you get to kind of go to the root of the wounds that, like, unfortunately, and like our parents don't talk about, because we kind of come from cultures that are like, we aren't talking about that, and like, unless you have the information, how would you know? And a lot of us don't have the information. And even when you're talking to me about your experience, I was just like, damn, like that is powerful, because I was thinking about like even my relationship with my parents, and like we are cool, we're good and we're pretty close, and like I could call them, but like I don't need to call my parents every day. Like I probably didn't talk to my parents on the phone the entire time I was gone, and I didn't feel a way about it. And like if I did, they would send pictures of Luna, but like I just realized that like there's such, even for your, you know, for you too, like for your dad, there's such walls up because they have childhood trauma. And if you don't know what to ask, you're just feeling awkward. Like, I'm trying to get to know you more, you know, and it feels huge. And especially as Black people, especially with our history being so dark and rich, it's like it's a sensitive thing. And you know, just like I've found out glimpses of things about my family history and like, you know, about like adoption and abortions and just like other families and things that I had no idea. But then we don't stop to think about how has that affected our parents, and then how does that in turn affect us. And I told you, like, even when I went to Mexico with Ariel and Saint and had that like super like crazy experience where I experienced feeling all that pain from my female ancestors, and I would have like I just knew it was that. I just realized like there's so much, like you said, that we've inherited, so much fear we've inherited, like, you know, even like things that come up in my relationship, jealousy, like distrust, and it's real. And we sometimes just chop it up, like you said, is like, oh, that's just who I am, or that's just what it is, or this is just my relationship with my parents, or this is just who he is, without really being able to have the tools to delve into where did you come from and what am I holding in my womb that I want to clear so that I'm not giving it to Luna and to, you know, her kids. So I'm like super proud of you for doing the work, and now I want to go work with Sylvia Ancestral. And it made me also think about when we first sat down with her ever before we had the retreat, but we were just like there visiting. I had a reading with her, and the very first thing she said to me, and I think this scared the shit out of me, and I recognize it now. And she literally looked at me and said, "No one's laughing. Your ancestors aren't laughing." And I was just like, "Bitch, what the fuck does that mean?" Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't expecting to open with that, you know, and like basically like our journey is necessary, and it's not just to us, and it is like to be taken seriously, but you don't know you have access to these type of tools and people unless you actually do the work to like kind of just follow the guide.
Well, and I think also like I think about this like term you hear about, you hear a lot where they say like healing isn't linear, and I understand that profoundly now, because I was really trying to be linear about the healing of me and my dad's relationship, like going straight to him to try and heal this, not realizing that there were other options. And like if you're listening right now and you're trying to heal a relationship with a parent or whoever, like I encourage you to think outside of the box and like consider going around them. And you know, sometimes it's about healing other parts of your lineage, not just that one in particular. And inevitably it will, that healing energy will echo into other parts of your relationships, including the one you're actually trying to heal. And so that's what I've realized in this experience, is that like I was really actively like wanting to sit down in front of my dad and say like, we have shit to do. We have like, I want us to be closer. Like, let's do this. Let's go on dad and daughter dates. And it's like, okay, it just didn't feel like
it still can be surface if you can't really dig up in the shit.
Right. So like going around it and like under it and above it, like I'm starting to feel like, okay, this is actually what's going to help really heal this wound.
And this is really what like Tantra is, you know, it's about the energetic healing. It's about the spiritual healing. It's about the healing that we do on a soul level. Like we are souls inhabiting vessels. And I know I say this a lot, but it's so true. And we like underestimate what that means to be this vast. And like when you decide to like energetically heal, it's contagious. And even like Erica, you know, sharing this experience, now if someone's at home thinking like, damn, like what does that look like for me? Even when you shared it with me, and obviously I have access to Sylvia, but like just it's contagious for me. And that's the beautiful thing about energetic and spiritual work, is like it doesn't have to be directly transmitted for it to be transmitted. And it's crazy because you said something to me and I started thinking about my childhood, and then Orlando woke up and was like, I had a dream about, you know, me as a kid. And the thing is, a lot of us don't realize, and I think you said this in the episode Take a Hike Bitch, is that a lot of trauma results in loss of memory of your childhood, and you think it's because you just got old and you have a lot of memories, and that's something too. But I realized recently that a lot of the things that I blacked out was intentional, but I can't really, like, I haven't really gone deep to figure out why. But there's certain, like, I have moments, but there's a lot of things I've forgotten, and I just realized, like, you doing the work is contagious to me now, because now I know I have access. If I just scratch the surface, I have a level of access to healing that maybe I didn't, realize. And the same for all of our friends and everyone around us. And just like one of our really good friends, shout out to Ashley, just came to the retreat, and now I'm sure that shifted her. And like, that's the beautiful thing about doing this work on yourself, is that inevitably the energetic healing spreads. Even we mentioned this before, like we sat down with the girls, and they're like, we want to do like a ceremony, and we were just like kind of let them lead, and they did a bunch of things that we've done in ceremony. And I was like, they've never been to these ceremonies, but they've been on property, and they've been with us in this last 6 years of our process. And it's beautiful to know that just healing myself has transmitted to our girls, and that they are seeking and recognizing that there are ways to access all around and not just physically. And I think we underestimate that work. You're working out, you're doing exercises, you're getting a trainer, you're eating right. But like, there is some deep ass work that needs to happen for us to experience like the ultimate joy and pleasure in this lifetime. And it requires, like, it's not always easy. And like, even yesterday I was like in my head a lot, and I felt it. My body was tense. I was holding my breath, and Orlando like just grabbed me, and he was like, looked at me, and he put his hand on my chest, and he was just like, you're safe, you're home. And I was just like, he's like, breathe. He made me breathe with him. And I just was like in my head, like, how did he know I was in my head? Like, I don't even know if I realized I had been so heavily like in my head, but I felt it in my body as soon as he triggered me to do it. And he laid me on his chest and like patted me, and it was something that triggered me. The pat literally like shot me back into like my childhood self, and it made me cry. And I wasn't feeling emotional at the time. It just like happened so quickly. It was like my body was defaulting on me, like ooh, 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 like, and I was just like a baby. And then I just it felt nourishing in a way that I needed him to recognize that, and I'm grateful for it. But then he lifted up my shirt to touch his, and there was a feeling inside of me that was like, it made me feel like I could feel that I was just a soul, and that my soul was pressing against the front of my body to be closer to his. I felt like as soon as he lifted my shirt, I was like, I felt my spirit, my infinite self, like press up against the front of my body to be closer to his. And I had this thought, like, I've probably known him in so many ethers, but this is this unique opportunity that we get to touch physically, and that I could feel like the ease in that. Like, anything I'm in my head about is really not important, and that I was safe and I was home, and like it caused like all those quick thoughts that quickly, like, was so it was like a reality check, and it was just, it's interesting how we are so. And even on the retreat, a lot of the girls I talked to were like telling me at points they got in their heads, assuming that people were like, oh, like talking about them, or like they were already grouped up, so I'm going to go back to my room. And I was like, we are rarely in environments where we can say, were you talking about me? And we'd be like, no, girl, we were just like chatting, like, oh, like, can I sit here? Like, yeah, have a seat. Like, yeah, let's come join in the conversation. But we're not in environments where our nervous systems are regulated, then you feel safe enough to say that to strangers. But the truth is, we're all making up narratives in our head that are not real. And when we can get out of our heads and out of this physical realm, like, then we can like ease into the fearlessness, because like the truth is, like, there's nothing to fear because we never die. And it's just like, it's these small glimpses of like your experience, and seeing so many women tainted by these ideas that like are just not real, these narratives we tell ourselves, and these beliefs that we've inherited that are not even ours. And it's just like the gift in surrendering and asking spirit for like, fulfill me and bring me the people that I need, bring me and like following that path is such a gift that we're gonna like, that keeps on giving.
No, for real. I mean, I totally agree. I think about, having those conversations with a few different women on the retreat who had made up these narratives in their mind, and then like getting into the practice of, yes, going up to someone and saying, hey, can I sit here and talk to you? And like how uncomfortable that is in any other circumstance. Because we've created this little bubble of permission on property, women feel more empowered to ask questions that they never would. They would just suffer in silence and then write off people and add that to the list of why I don't fuck with bitches. You know, like I don't fuck with bitches, you know, and when all you had to do was just say, hey, I'm going to ask this question. I was talking to my cousin yesterday and she was saying how she's has like really people pleasing issues. And like, she was like, there's this girl and I really like her. She's really cool. Not like dating wise. Like she's a really cool friend. She does like spoken word. And my cousin, she does music and she's like, and she wants me to come over and jam with her. She wants me to like play the guitar while she does spoken word. And it's just like not my thing. Like I don't fuck with spoken word like that. And I honestly don't have fucking time to do that. Like I'm trying to work on my own shit. And so I've literally been avoiding her. Like, and I really like her, but I'm scared that she's going to ask me to do this jam session with her that I don't want to do. And I don't know how to tell her no. And I was like, so you're really going to just like forfeit a friendship because you don't know how to say
no to the
this
jam
isn't
session.
my thing. And I was thinking like how many women do that, forfeit friendships because either they're making up narratives in their mind. They don't know how to like say, hey, like, I don't really want to do that. And like thinking the other person is going to hate them for it. And I told her, I was like, bitch, like if you said no to her, she'll probably go find someone else to go do it with her. Like it's that simple. Like you're actually making yourself so important. Like,
and it might not even be what you need. Maybe just like a hangout, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and she's like, I really like want to hang out with her, but I'm nervous that she's going to keep asking me for this thing that I don't want to give her. I was like, oh my God, like as women, like we have such a hard, but then she like has no problem sending like really crazy text messages to like guys that are like she was just telling me the story about this guy who like shit in the bed or something. He like shit in the bed like years ago in high school or something while they were having sex. And then and like when it was happening, like she saw the shit and he just was like, that's not mine, and like got up and like walked out and she had to like wash her sheets and she was like, what the fuck? And then she like ran into him like years later, recently actually, and then like a few nights ago she just randomly texted him like, remember when you shit in my bed in high school or in college? And I was like, so you have no problem texting this guy this, but you can't say no to your friend. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with
she's still mad.
No, but it was just like, it's like women, we can be really extreme in one way and then like super cut off in another way. Like she feels really comfortable kind of like exposing a guy, but has a really hard time like
just
expressing herself.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking like, wow, like how many friendships have died because of just these made up storylines in our head because we didn't know how to say, hey, like that made me uncomfortable, thinking like if we said that, like she was going to think whatever about me. And I'm just really grateful that we've created a space, at least for 5 days, where women can practice saying no, can practice saying yes, can practice like just vocalizing their needs, not being afraid to ask for too much, not being afraid to just be quiet and be at peace. And it's so important for women to have these spaces, and men too, like men having these spaces too. And like, I'm realizing too with men, like how much they need spaces to be, I already know this, but to be vulnerable. And it's just like, I read our comments sometimes and like, there's so many hurt men out there.
It's just so basic. They're just so basic. And I try not to let that pollute my mind about like just the majority of men, because it can't possibly be this.
Well, just like women, we need safety. Like I got fed some sort of like ad or something. I don't know what it was, but it was like, these are the things that men need to be asked, or like men need to be asked or told. And it was like, they need to be told like you're doing a good job. They need to be told like it was like a few different things, and it was like not that different from what women need to be
but it
told.
just like was delivered. It was just like different words.
Yeah. And I was like, we all kind of want the same thing. In ways, there's a safety that men need as well.
Is there a book on that? Is there a book on like affirmations for men?
Maybe we should write it.
We might need to. Like, we should like research all our male friends, and because you know what, like,
and I was talking to this guy that I'm seeing, and he was saying how hard it is for him to receive affirmations from me and like compliments from me, and that he's like felt resistance in his body when I do that. And that's like my love language in love. Like I love giving men words of affirmation and saying like, I'm really impressed by you. And like, I just do that naturally. And I never considered how uncomfortable it would make someone.
Well, if you're not used to it, it can be uncomfortable. Sometimes I didn't realize it, but I resonate with that. Like in my body, it feels like, I don't know, but now like, yeah, a lot of times we don't examine how things feel in our body, and we're people pleasing, and so that's like shout out to him for even recognizing that and then being able to communicate it. But it's just like, it's also a practice, being able to receive and also to affirm, because that's not like that's not my strong point. So, and then like we talk all the time, we write, and so you would think that I would have more words, but then I feel like stuck when it comes to words of affirmation sometimes, even with myself. It's crazy what, like you said, a week of tapping into your own pleasure and your body and saying like, do I want to do this? How does this make me feel? Why? Like asking the questions you want to ask. But again, it's being in a place where you feel safe and your nervous system is regulated. Is it tarot time?
It's tarot time. Yeah.
Wow, because I'm high. This backwood, I put some rose petals.
I saw. It was very beautiful.
It's actually really delicious. I'm about to smoke the whole thing, but I'm high. It's rose petals and a little bit of lavender. And I have I have a bold cigar. The back, I don't know. Is this just
5 bold cigars?
I guess it's flavorless.
Is it just it's the OG backwood?
I think I like this one. Yeah. This might be my winner. It's because I'm wise and older. I don't need all those flavors.
The 7 of Swords.
7 of Swords.
He looks happy, but he's balancing a lot of things. He's carrying a lot of things. He's leaving some things behind.
7 of Swords. Let's see. Traditionally, the 7 of Swords indicates theft, betrayal, deception, and trickery. Ooh. You may be trying to get away with something and or sneaking around behind other people's backs, hoping to go undetected. If you're lucky, you might get away with your secret intact. But if you're unlucky, others will soon find out what you have done, causing you shame and embarrassment. Be aware that anytime you use cunning or deception to gain an advantage over someone or something else, you're at risk of being found out. And even if you are not, the cover-up will require a tremendous amount of effort, and it may not be worth it. Alternatively, you may be the victim of someone else's betrayal. Others are not being candid with you, and you may be unaware of their lies and deception.
Are you lying to me?
No.
Okay.
I'm not good at lying. You may trust someone who then turns out to be running their own agenda, leaving you high and dry. Look out for any sneaky behavior and listen to your intuition when something does not feel right or seems too good to be true.
Oh my God, you know what this made me think of? Last night. Wait, I have to tell you the story of last night.
Oh my God.
You guys. Last night was crazy. Last night I had never spiraled so hard in my life so fast. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but
last night I'm almost at the REM sleep. Wait, what's the deep
REM?
one? What's the really deep one? You know, the deep one. Is that lucid? I don't know. I'm in the deep sleep.
You're an REM.
I'm an REM. I'm like right there. And
So I'm having like a little girls' night with my cousin and my bestie, and like we're just sitting there talking, and my cousin was helping me with Irie while I was gone in Costa Rica, and she goes, you check Irie's iPad? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she's like, do you know someone named Poo Poo Head in her iPad? And I was like, no, who the fuck is Poo Poo Head? And she was like, there's someone in her iPad named Poo Poo Head, and he must have messaged her and said like, I don't want to be your boyfriend. And I was like, boyfriend? She's like, yeah, you need to go look in her iPad. So she was like, go look now. So I went upstairs, got Ari's iPad, turned it on, and I'm looking through fucking her text, and I'm looking through Poo Poo Head, looking for Poo Poo Head. I find Poo Poo Head, and that's not even what she said. So my cousin was getting Ari fucked up out here because Poo Poo Head just said, I don't want to be your friend. And then Ari didn't even respond.
The relatives be getting you fucked up.
Because Ari's unbothered. I realized as I read her text message with her friends, she's the most unbothered friend of all of them. She doesn't really give a fuck. So anyway, I start looking through the text, and I see that there's a message from someone named BFF2. And the emoji is the emoji is this man with like a what's it called, a goatee. And I'm like, who the fuck is BFF2 with a goatee? So I look in the text, and it's like the first text is Irie, and then she goes, is this Amir? And he is like, it's EMIR. And yes, you called me while I was at work. Bitch, I said at work. Who the fuck is Amir? You guys, I was trembling. Like, I was like, who the fuck is Amir? Why is Amir texting?
Didn't you go on Roblox and see this?
I was why is this grown-ass man texting my 8-year-old? Then I was like, let me go check on Roblox. Like, what the fuck is happening on Roblox? I haven't checked in like 4 months. I go in Roblox. I see all of her friends, and I see someone named Amir in there. And I'm like, oh, no. They've gotten her. They've gotten to her. My parental controls weren't strong enough. Somehow, someone has messaged her on
grown
Roblox,
man.
and she got a phone number, and now they're FaceTiming. I haven't even been here. I saw the first message was like in December, and then there was another one like last week. I'm like having a panic attack. My friends are like egging me on. They're stressing me the fuck out. Like, what are we going to do? You can't shame her. Like, I was like, I'm going to go wake her ass right up. I'm going to go wake her up right the fuck now. I'm about to curse her out. And she was like, no, you can't do that because there's too much. She's lying to you because she knows that you went through her iPad. You can't shame her. You don't want to make her seem like she's in trouble. Definitely don't start the conversation saying you're not in trouble because everyone knows that's code for you're in fucking trouble.
This is a lot of advice.
Bitch,
this is a lot of advice they were giving you.
Oh my God, it was a lot.
Because I would just woke her ass up.
And I was telling her, I was like, I'm not good with my faces. My faces are fucked. Like, I already like have judgmental face and I don't even mean to. I have resting bitch face. It's just part of my demeanor. So anyway, they were like, we have to call him. What's his phone number? So I fucking *67 call this
Not
number.
*67.
I call *67 and I look at the area code and it's 610. And so I'm like, Romo's like, what is 610? And we look at it's Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm like, what the fuck? This her fucking this predator lives in Philly? Like, what the fuck is going on? I fucking call the number and someone answers and I'm like, hello? No one says anything. I'm like, hello? No one says anything. Hello? He's like, yes. And I could hear it's like a grown ass man. And I was like, hi, is this Amir? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, why are you texting 8-year-olds, Amir? And he was like, oh, are you talking about Johnny? I was like, Johnny? I was like thinking in my head, oh, so you have a fucking list of little 8-year-olds you're fucking texting, you fucking weirdo. So I'm like, no, not Johnny, my daughter. Why are you texting 8-year-olds? Why are you texting my 8-year-old daughter, Amir? Where do you live? Who are you? He's like, whoa, relax. One question at a time. And I was like, the fucking audacity. And honestly, I was triggered also because I remember when my baby daddy cheated on me and this bitch sent the picture of her pregnancy and then sent her number. And then I called and I had all these questions and she had the audacity to tell me to calm the fuck down. That's how I felt. I was triggered all over again.
Okay.
I was like, where are you located? And he was like, no comment. And like the two aunties at the table are like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who are you? And he was like, no comment. And I was like, I just hung up. And they were like, why did you hang up? We had to ask more questions. I was like, I don't have any more fucking questions to ask. I'm waking her up. And they're like, you can't wake her up.
How long did this go on?
This just went on for like 30 minutes.
So then,
because then I was like deep diving into Roblox, like trying to find deleted messages. I was Googling how to find deleted messages on Roblox. Apparently you can't delete messages. They're in an archive, but there were none. So I didn't know how the fuck they got each other's phone number. So I was really confused. And then I went on a deep dive of her history on the Googles, and my daughter's just searching like how to do a back handspring and like just basic 8-year-old shit.
Stuff. Yeah.
So then they left. And they told me, like, Erica, don't worry. We're going to, like, call our therapist tomorrow. We're going to find the best way to have this conversation because clearly you're not well equipped. I was like, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
the two bitches with no kids.
I'm gonna fuck this all up. So I was like, I told them when they were leaving, I was like, I'm gonna call Jamila because I need to call Mila because both of our kids are on Roblox and this is fucked up. I need to make sure Luna doesn't have Amir as a friend either, and she's not talking to Amir. So I call Jamila and I'm like, Jamila, and she's like, hello. I'm like, are you asleep? She's like, yeah.
I'm sure you could hear my voice.
And I was like, well, first of all, the team never responded about our call tomorrow, so I don't even know if we're having the call at 9 a.m. or not. And she was like, okay. And I was like, and secondly, Irie's talking to some fucking adult named Amir, and I don't know what to do. She found him on Roblox. He lives in Philly. And she was like, Amir?
She's like, I don't know. Irie's living a double life.
I know, Irie's living a double life. I don't
Irie's
even know her. I don't even know my own child.
I was like, Roblox? Luna's on Roblox all the time. And I was like, wait, so what do you mean? What are they talking about? I was like, you called? She was like, yeah. I was like, he said no comment with his voice? I was like, you heard him. I was like, he was a grown man? She was like, yeah. I was literally like about to go wake up Luna. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then I'm like, well, how do you spell it? Give me the number. I put the fucking number in my phone. It's our cousin. It's their friend. It's our cousin. It's my cousin's son. Fucking Sheena. I was like, bitch, she knows him.
So Luna must have shared Amir's contact to fucking Irie. So the Bitmoji was already there. And I guess Amir is saved in Luna's iPad as BFF2. So I was like, why the fuck is his name BFF2 in her phone? So anyway, then I was like, I gotta go. I gotta call Amir back. So
I'm like, it's 3 a.m.
I don't give a fuck. So I call Amir back and he's like, hello. And I'm like, Amir, it's Erica from Good Moms. And he's like, oh, hey. And I was like, why the fuck are you texting my daughter? I was like, why would you let me be in distress? Why would you let a mom be in distress? Why would you play with me like this on the phone? And he was like, I thought like someone was prank calling me. And he's like, as I was just fading back into sleep thinking like, who did I hurt? Who would like play on the phone about me texting 8-year-olds? Bitch, I told him, I said I was going to track you down and fucking end your life. And then Sheena was going to come end my life. And then it was really going to be Good Moms, Bad Choices, but like all bad.
It's my little cousin.
Oh my God.
I was like, I literally was trying to wrap my head around our kids talking to grown men. I'm like, but what would they be talking about? I was like, Irie has a double life.
And then she'd be like, that's what you get for showing your daughter how to prank call people.
They love to prank call people. Now it's against you.
So anyway, I was trembling for 1 hour, even after I found out the news that it wasn't true. Like it took me like at least an hour to like come down. I was fucked up. I literally was like, I don't need to be a mom. I don't need to be a parent. I suck at parenting. I don't know how to talk to my kid. I was about to fucking pull her ass out of the bed. I was going to like blame her for everything. Also, I can't believe this like went on under my nose. She's living a double life. She's only 8. Like what else don't I know? It was crazy. So all that to say was the sneaking. I don't know if this card has anything to do with that, but
it says on a positive note, you cannot do everything at once, nor should you. Instead, you must prioritize what's important to you and direct your focus and attention on the few tasks that will move you closer to your goals. It's the 80-20. 20% of your work will account for 80% of your results, so focus on 20%. You may be able to accept some responsibilities or duties, but not all of them, or you may say yes to some projects at the expense of others. Basically, take it easy and chill the fuck out.
Okay, I'm trying.
Okay, just ease and pleasure, ease and pleasure. Everything we want is already ours.
And our kids are not talking to strange men on the internet.
They don't. Our 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds are not living double lives. Do we have an affirmation?
Affirmation.
Ease and pleasure.
What is the affirmation?
Move out of the U.S. ASAP.
Affirmation is...
No, I'm stoned, so... Bitch.
Maybe if I breathe deeply, come to me.
Oh, maybe it's...
Trust your kids.
That's all that breathing, and that's what the fuck you got. We're gonna have to...
Okay, fine. It must be that. The affirmation is...
We can add it later.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not coming to me. I'm not going to force it.
Okay, don't force it. Anyway, don't forget to sign up for Patreon because you won't get any of this in the next few weeks. We're going off season. Come to our live show. We will be in Philadelphia on March 13th. We'll be in DC on March 14th. We'll be in New York on... No?
Yeah.
We'll be on New York on the 16th, Atlanta on the 21st, and we have special guests. And we have...
And Houston on April 18th.
Yes, we do. And Erica will be wearing her hat.
Yeah.
And I might be wearing my hat too. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.